Imagine that you can't hold your own head up. You can't control any of your muscles, so you're perpetually hunched over, which keeps your internal organs squashed, making it difficult to eat. Your lungs are compressed, so you have a hard time even breathing. This is life as a quadriplegic, unless you have the orthosis you need. Devices like back braces, leg splints and hand splints support, control and guide different parts of your body, and they are critical to your health.
Andiamo was born with cerebral palsy. He was quadriplegic. He wore several orthoses. Caring for him was extremely difficult because you had to fight the system. The orthotics services were the majority of where our fights were.
The whole process for him of going to an orthotics clinic would be quite involved. It can take half an hour to an hour plus to do a back brace.
The way orthotic services are delivered today in hospitals and in clinics around the world is quite primitive. It's unsophisticated, it's inefficient, and it hasn't evolved in over 100 years. Andiamo is changing that.
Andiamo is an orthotics company, but it's specifically about improving the lives of disabled children and their families.
It's quite traumatic going to an orthotics clinic, whereas if someone's coming with just to take a photograph of your foot, that's a completely different experience and hopefully much better for them and their families.
The time difference of doing it traditional manner, if you take in account that you have to measure the child, so using the plaster, that's an hour of an appointment. For that to be built, that's another 13 weeks. By that time, the child has grown out of it before he even got the product. And then you have to redo the process all over again. If you're 3D scanning, that's 20 seconds max. And you're digitizing on the laptop to create the orthotic.
That data is then uploaded to a 3D printing company or an orthotics company, and they take that data to actually create the orthosis.
So not 13 weeks later, but in 2 days' time max. And that's a massive difference.
Another big difference is the accuracy. 3D scanning can be up to 300 times more accurate than the old plaster process. These improvements in time, accuracy, and the patient's experience, they all point to better patient outcomes. The Andiamo solution really starts to come into focus when you look at the scope of the problem. In the UK alone, there are over 1 million NHS orthotics users. Thanks to more people surviving accidents and chronic conditions, that's growing by 4 to 6% every year, and the cost of all of that is enormous. Big organisations have already come on board, and we're on our way to delivering health services with and for people. But there's a lot to do.
First, we're consulting with 3D scanning experts to develop the most effective 3D scanning techniques.
We then want to recruit pilot families and clinicians to help co-create and co-design the orthotics service. This will serve as the blueprint for the NHS pilot programme.
Then, we'll redesign the orthosis based on everything we've learned.
After that, we'll be ready for our first private sales, with a goal of 100 customers in 12 months.
The pilot NHS service comes next, and at that point, we'll be designing and building the data platform.
That process of figuring out how all the data will be secured and stored, and how it gets shared so that each child benefits from those who have gone before, is already underway. Finally, we'll expand to a full NHS service and data platform sales. This is a big deal. It means we can ensure consistency and quality no matter where the user is in the world.
If you can imagine a child anywhere in the world needing a scan, and that could go anywhere into any 3D printer.
We're going to need cutting-edge technology. We're going to need to transfer data from any country in the world to cloud platforms. It means we're going to have to transfer data to manufacturing hubs. We think we can do this globally. We think we can impact every child in the world who needs an orthosis. It's as simple as that.
It was very, very hard just to get one item for our child, and it was a long struggle. And the thought that we could eliminate that just drives me forward.
The more that people can use their pain to make things better, the better things are going to be. We can do it better, way better.
We're ready. We're ready to go.